Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RPS Learning at Home, where we are discussing compare and contrast. Please pause for one moment while I pull up our PowerPoint. I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see what I see. Our learning target for today is the student will be able to compare and contrast details from two literary texts. Yesterday, we read the story, Stop the Hungry Giant Fish. And in this story, we saw an illustration where there's the hungry giant fish who's caught in a net. And we know that the men and the women and the children were all working together to help capture the fish. With our Venn diagram that we created yesterday to compare the men and the women, we said that the men used their strength to siege the fish. But the women, on the other hand, they cut their hair to weave a net to catch the fish, but they also sang songs to lure the fish. But the similarities between the men and the women were that both wanted to catch the fish and both worked together in order to accomplish that goal. We are going to read another story today from CommonLit, and the title of this story is MVP. This story was written by Claire Mishka. Claire Mishka has written for Highlights. And this short story, a boy wants to be named the most valuable player of his team for scoring the most baskets during the championship game. Now, as I read this story, I want us to compare this story to the hungry giant fish, okay? Before we begin reading, let's take a look at the picture that we have here. In this illustration, we can see there's the yellow team and the red team, and they are in a championship game. Let's get started. 8 minutes. The red numbers on the clock showed that there was 1 quarter left in the game. In just 8 minutes, one team would win the 7th grade championship. The score was tied at 24. Our sweaty team hurtled around Coach Sanchez. Pass it around and don't get boxed in, he warned. When you're open, shoot. We stuck our hands into the middle. Go Eagles. Back on the floor, Brandon had the ball. I was open, but he passed it to Cole. Cole had a great turnaround jump shot, but I was a great shot too. In fact, we had 6 points so far, but Cole was more popular and the team fed him the ball. 7 minutes. The Knights took possession of the ball and tried to score. Then Cole was fouled and sank his 2 free throws. That added 2 more points to our team's score and the score in my head. It shouldn't have mattered, but for once, I wanted to outscore Cole. I wanted to show the team that I could be the MVP, most valuable player. The Kings dribbled down, but Jeff stole the ball and threw a long, hard pass to me. I saw Cole running toward the bucket, but no one was guarding me either. I dribbled in and shot. The ball swished through for 2. Cole slapped my hand. Good shot, Derek. Thanks, I said. I didn't worry about whether or not I should have passed the ball. Cole had his fair share of chances. 6 minutes. The score bounced back and forth. Eagles 30, Knights 32, Eagles 35, Knights 34. The score in my head kept bouncing too. Derek 8, Cole 10, Derek 12, Cole 11. 5 minutes. I ran down the court trying to guard my man. I jumped straight up as he shot, and my hand knocked the ball just enough to send it back, just to send it off the backboard. Cole got the rebound and dribbled down the court. He passed the ball to me and ran under the basket. I ignored him and shot, but the ball bounced off the rim. Cole was open, Jeff said. So was I muttered, but I felt rotten inside. Hey, it's no big deal, said Cole. We're all trying to win this game. We're a team. 4 minutes. It happened fast. Cole was on the floor holding his ankle, his face twisted with pain. Coach Sanchez was there in a second. We'll put some ice on it, he said. You're done playing. Cole nodded. Then Coach helped him to the bench. Everyone cheered for Cole. I felt my heart hammer in my ears. Now I was going to be the MVP without a doubt. 3 minutes. We were up by 4. Brandon took the ball down and passed it to me. I jumped up to shoot from the side, but suddenly 2 Knight players were guarding me instead of 1. I lost the ball. The Knights dribbled down and passed the ball to one of their key players. Cole had held him to just 4 points. Justin, Cole's substitute, couldn't move as fast, and the Knight player scored. You can do it, Cole shouted from the bench, but it didn't look good. Every time I got the ball, the Knights double teamed me. They figured that with Cole gone, they could shut me down and win. Cole had helped divide their attention before, and he guarded one of their best shooters. I've never thought about how much that helped my game. Now they were down by 1. Our school had a shot at its first championship, but time was running out. All of a sudden, more than anything, I wanted our team to take home the trophy. 2 minutes. Timeout, Coach Sanchez called Coach Sanchez, and we ran off the floor. We need points, guys, said Coach as we crowded around him. Get it to Brandon, I blurted out. They're leaving him open when they double team me. Everybody looked at Brandon. He hardly ever shot. Give it a try, said Coach. 1 minute. I took the ball down the court. 2 Knights boxed me in, leaving Brandon wide open. I faked a shot and bounced past the ball to him. He caught it and hesitated. Shoot, I shouted. Brandon let it fly right into the basket. We won by 1 huge point as the buzzer sounded. The gym exploded with cheer. We were all jumping around when I spotted Cole on the bench. Hey, I said, game time, great game. You too, said Cole, slapping my back. Great idea to pass it to Brandon. Congratulations on getting MVP. I've been waiting a long time to hear those words, but they didn't seem so important now. Thanks, I said. It was a team effort, and I finally understood just what that meant. So now we just finished reading the story MVP, and we are going to compare using a Venn diagram. Just like we did yesterday, I want you to create a Venn diagram on a blank sheet of paper. On one side, I want you to write, "Stop the hungry giant fish." On the other side, I want you to write MVP. And in the middle, I want you to write similarities. Please pause the video at this time so that you can write down how these stories are similar and how these 2 stories are different. When you are done, please unpause and we'll compare what you have to what I have. All right, let's check your work. Compare your answers to mine. On my Venn diagram, I have that both stories are similar because they're both fiction. In a fictional story, we know we have story elements where there's characters, settings, problems, and solutions. So the characters in The Giant Hungry Fish were the men and the women of the island. But in MVP, we had the players on the team. We had Cole, we had Derek, we had the other team members and the other team that they played against. Another similarity between the 2 is the theme of the story. In both stories, They were working together to achieve a goal. Although their goals were different, they were all trying to accomplish the same thing. A difference between the two is that in Stop the Hungry Giant Fish, it was a legend. That means that it was a story that people believed to be true from long ago, but there's not really any evidence to prove that that really happened. Another difference is that the goal was different. The goal for the people who lived on the island of Guam was to save their island. They didn't want their island to be destroyed by this fish. But in MVP, their goal was to win a basketball game. Another difference was that the narrator had an internal conflict that he was battling. He not only wanted to win the game like the rest of his team members, he was fighting to win the title of MVP. And that is how these two stories are different. Okay. So now we're going to stop here for today. And tomorrow, when we return, we're going to read a different type of story. Instead of reading fictional story, we're going to read a non-fiction story, an informational text. I'll see you then. Bye.